General Protocol Spaces. Banking on Freedom.
So welcome everybody to General Bull 36 of N. This is going to be mostly about BCH Argentina conference. So this is about us getting to hear what's going on, because we didn't get to go. Most of us didn't get to go, but Gerard did get to go from the GP team. So we're wanting to hear what's going on, what happened, and what people are thinking. And we may have some other people joining from the conference as well. We'll just see how it goes as time goes on. So can you tell us how was the conference? What's going on? What did you do? The
No,
legal parts, or the mostly legal parts.
yeah. Okay. Now, in general, there was an amazing experience for me. Uh, the networking I did and all the people I met. I mean, the conference overall was just an amazing experience. But yeah, that part, the networking, was amazing. No, all the people that enthusiasts and all the people that is working right now on the BCH in real life. If something so cool that is my, if I have to pick something, that will be the one.
That's very cool. Yeah, to get that feeling like, oh, it's not just me, it's not just a few people. There's actually a lot of other people working on this stuff that's really important to me. I love that feeling too. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, we start yeah, to give a little explanation of how the conference was scheduled. We started with first day with some people giving talks about general, not too much related with BCH, but economic ideas, freedom, uh, free economic and freedom, and yeah, that was kind of the introduction to the conference. Later on, the second day was more like some panels where we discussed the how to grab new adoption into BCH, uh, how to keep pushing forward the community to try to scale in every point, trying to grab new users, trying to keep improving the BCH. And yeah, that was a really nice day, the second day. Yesterday we were just kind of in a working day. We went to a ranch here in Argentina and to know a little culture from here. Yeah, the networking time there was just amazing. I enjoyed it a lot.
That's awesome. How about the presentation that you did? It couldn't have possibly been about BCH Bull, could it?
Yeah. I try to focus the presentation on business owners here that probably sometimes are struggling with volatility of the of the crypto market, specifically BCH. And yeah, I think that even though uh, probably not more of them are not yeah, for more of them it's not a real problem. I mean volatility, because they are not trying to uh, use the BC. I mean they still not receive too many payments in BCH that force them to be uh, usually swapping by that money for fiat in order to pay they need. So for some of them, they can handle volatility quite nice because they take BCH savings sometimes. But yeah, I really surprised me that yeah, I kind of give me give them they show me that yeah, some interest in the BCH bull. And I think that what surprised me was that I think that they already know BCH a little about. Was not that case. Many people didn't know BCH until my presentation.
Nice work then. Hopefully, some of them will
Yeah,
find
yeah.
it useful. Did you get a chance to talk to any of the merchants or people in Argentina using BCH? Like I know there was like you could use BCH at a lot of places, but did you get like what kind of places did you get to use it?
Yeah, yeah. I talked with some business owners here. Uh, uh, Once that yeah, at the conference, I mean, here in Argentina, there is the guys here create a map just like in Philippines, Jomar. That that they create that app here too. Uh, so several people that have their business on the map were on the conference also. People that selling paintings, people that sell books, people that sell table games, people. I mean, people that sell the typical drink that is yerba mate tea, that is drink here. Yeah, yeah. All those people are quite happy to be accepting BCH right now. I mean, that was the like a feedback I could feel from them. Yeah, probably. I don't know if all the speakers that are joined in the space right now know how cheated the fiat currency here in Argentina it is. So for them it's totally a relief that they know BCH and they can accept BCH in their business.
For people who are listening who don't know, Argentina went from something pretty reasonable to extreme inflation over the last how many years? 5 years or more? I'm not sure how long it's been, but like what is the annualized inflation right now? I know it's something
I don't know.
ridiculous, but
No, yeah, sorry, I don't know, but I was talking with some guy here in Argentina. Uh, I, I I don't remember right now specifically what year he told me that was pair 1 to 1 with the dollar, but was not too long ago. Was kind of 20 years. 1 peso was have the same value of the dollar. So right now is more than 1,000 pesos for a dollar. So you can you can
oh
do
my
your
god,
math and
that's
yeah.
terrible. Yeah, I was just looking at some charts. It looks like it was oh my god. So yeah, it's like 30% a month. 30, 40.
Kind of.
Oh my god, 30, 40%. Oh no, no, it's more than that now. Oh yeah, it's something ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. Annual inflation 211% last year. So like you said, fiat situation in Argentina is really bad. Um however, so what have you seen there in my very limited experience but with Peru, back in the days when they were facing a lot of very heavy inflation, before they totally reissued their currency for like the second time. Um, right, the dollar was the escape that people went to. And what's that? And today, is it the dollar? Is it USDT? How's it going there? And I know we have a Paul who has joined us too. I don't know if you wanted to jump in, Paul.
Thank you for having me, John. Gerardo invited me yesterday, so this is the first time for me being here. Yes, now I talked a lot with Argentinian people on the way to Buenos Aires. I talked with a couple, 8 hours. I was talking with the economic situation, a lot of things, and those guys are going through a roller coaster the last couple of years, especially the last year where the inflation was going through the roof. What you just checked on, they have to answer your question. They have a lot of dollars, and from the 80s actually they are hoarding dollars, and in
Right. Okay.
2001 there was the big financial crisis, and then the one-to-one parity, what Gerardo was saying, was then lost, and then actually the poverty started coming here. I can keep talking, but I keep talking, so you have to slow me down, John. So
Yeah, no, please go ahead. I want to hear about it. Like, what is the situation there? Because, yeah, I mean, the dollar is the solution, right? Is the past solution, and I think to a large degree, it's still what people flee to. But of course, things are changing, and so how is that changing? And like, how does that look today? Is it USDT? Is it crypto? Or what are the solutions people are using there?
people have a lot of cash money and still even notes from the 80s. So that is like with a little face on it, and the notes, you got the bigger face, the other one. So now people, it's difficult to get rid from all those mint 80s notes, which are still hoarding from 40 years ago, or 30, 40 years ago. So that's crazy. That is the safest way, because they do not trust the banks, and there's also big governmental control. We're spending the government. I heard yesterday that you can spend with Mercado Pago. That's like an electronic system, maximum $500 a month. And if you do above that, then you have to pay a lot of extra tax to the government, because everything is electronic and they then can check it. So people have an incentive to have cash money. And to answer your question, to relating to Bitcoin Cash, people I spoke to, they see Bitcoin Cash as a really good alternative for it, especially the business owners. And now also with BCH Bull, that they can hedge the value of in dollar value. They really like the solution.
So still holding dollars from the 80s. What I heard there is that we need to extend our contract duration to like 10 years so that people can hold their BCH Bull contracts for 10 years. Holy shit. They've been holding dollars, the same dollar bills since the 80s. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're looking for something that you can use that's useful and is going to store some level of value, it makes sense.
And the situation is quite interesting right now, John. Because I've got my sister, how do you say it, sister-in-law, cuñada, in Spanish, lives here also. And there's actually now two groups since Milai. And the one, who are really happy about the changes, but also the other group who work in the state or whereas as a nurse or as a teacher, who do not get compensated also for the big price increase, because the gas and electricity prices went, compared to February when I was there last time, 6 to 10 times they increased, and there was no government incentive. Marcelo told me that was actually 90% subsidized by the government to keep that low. So a lot of people had more purchasing power of that, but because of that, also the inflation increased, of course, with all those incentives. So now a lot of people are more against Milei, but they do not understand the concept, because I talked to a lot of people just to understand also the whole situation. I don't mind which direction, but people. Most people do not see that actually the government was causing the problem. They only see for themselves that they now are getting poorer, but they do not see the bigger picture. That is what I also noticed. Who people are against Milei.
I see. Yeah, the inflation is such a stealthy thing, right? A stealthy. I mean, whatever you want to call it, theft or just a negative impact. It's so invisible. People just don't notice it, and it happens slow enough that people don't notice it. or don't blame it, like you said. Yeah, it's a really tough thing to communicate.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And yeah, about getting back to the conference, or would you like to know something more about what I was telling, or shall we go back to the conference?
I just want you guys to talk. I don't even really want to
Oh, yeah.
talk very much because I'm just enjoying my highball here and hoping to listen to you guys talk. I've invited I know we have Gerald, could you introduce us to some of the people that are in the audience that you have invited? I'm not sure if they'll be able to come to speak, but some of the people that you invited.
Oh yeah. As I already told you, sorry, said there is some noise over here. I'm in the lobby of the hotel, but yeah, as I told you, I was having a really good time doing networking. So I invited Jomar, with which I had a pretty cool conversation yesterday. Also, Julian from Blockchair. If you can uh, join us, guys.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I'm looking at the list now. Jomar is in there. Hey, Jomar. I don't know if you can join, but hi. Anyway, it's very cool that you got to go to the conference. I wish I could have joined you all. And the other the person from Blockchain, what's his name?
Uh, the username is gcitar. Citar.
Okay. All right. I sent an
Uh,
invite to him. Hopefully, he'll be able to join us up here.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Keeping the
Hey,
Hello.
Jordan, is that your name?
Julian.
Julian. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, welcome. It's good to have you. Obviously we use Blockchair. I don't think you can be in crypto and not use Blockchair. So thank you so much for everything you guys do. Were you already interested in BCH, or how did you end up at the conference? I'm really interested.
I have my
I
one good friend. Yeah.
Go for it, Julian. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have one good friend. He's a like BCH enthusiast,
technical
and
stuff.
so he
I
involved
would
me.
love to hear uh, more about the chips that they.
Sorry, it seems like Gerard can't hear, so I'll talk to him in DM, but I muted him for now. Yeah, go ahead, Julian. Sorry about that.
So yeah, about BCH. So I have a friend. He's a BCH enthusiast. So he just asked me if I want to join this conference, and I accept this. Mm, So
Sorry, can you hear me?
yes, who is it?
I think we're having a famous Twitter problem where one person can't hear
Hello?
the other person. So I think Gerard can't hear us right now. So I may have to. I'm sending him some DMs to sort it out. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna send him messages. Yeah, say thanks, Julian. What did you think about it? What did you think about the conference? What did you think about BCH and BCH Bull and all the stuff that's going on and whatnot?
So I think that the conference it was great. However, in my opinion, there should be involved more developers, not only the community people. So and to show people that BCH is developing much faster with a lot of people involved in it.
Oh, that's interesting to hear because that's one of the things that I have seen growing actually is just the number of developers and builders is getting to the point that I don't know who's who anymore. I used to know who everybody who's building something, but these days I don't anymore. So that's actually one of the things that's been great is we have, for example, this open Telegram channel for builders, and I probably don't know half the people in there anymore. It's all kinds of people looking at ideas, and now that the virtual machine is getting more powerful and the smart contracts can be more powerful. There's, whatever ideas you have, you can do it. That's interesting. Okay, so more developers.
I'll jump in here and say that if you're in the market for a conference with developers, then you might want to join BCH Bliss next year because it is more developer and builder focused. So that's an alternative if you want to go to more conferences.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, it's in Slovenia, right? And it was full of builders at the conference this year. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll try. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Drag the whole blockchain team. We'll get you guys back interested in UTXO and Bitcoin. we always not debate, like we always harass. Harass is probably the right word. We always harass Nikita about BCH and Bitcoin and whatever, because he still talks about BTC, and we're like, why are you wasting your time over there? But yeah, hopefully he doesn't mind too much, or you guys don't mind too much.
Yeah, he's boring sometimes. Yes, he's still in Bitcoin fully.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. You can tell what people are in still. All right, well, thank you. Hey, Jomar, it's good to see you. I got you up on speaker here.
Hello, you hear me?
We do.
Okay, yeah, nice. I'm still in Argentina, in the hotel. It's been a very good experience to be here. It wasn't easy on my part because I had to secure all this paperwork in order to get here. So I really am very thankful to the BCH Argentina team for facilitating. My visa was approved like a day before I have to leave for Argentina. So that was thrilling. Um, Overall, because for me this is my first time to join a Bitcoin Cash conference. So I was very excited. I interacted with as many people as I could. As Gerard mentioned, we had like very long conversations during the ride to the La Repubblica, like the leisure time on the third day. It just feels really, it feels different. Like I've started working in BCH since 2018 or even a bit earlier than that. It's all been like names to me. Like I see Telegram labels, type Telegram names. It's all chat. It feels different when you like, start to interact with real people and then get to discuss more about important questions, which I think was the I would say the big plus point for this conference is that I think the right questions, the good questions were being asked. Although I agree with Julian that it was less about um, the technical developments. I think the closest technical presentation was by Fernando about the scaling. But the rest, it's more about the philosophy, about the economics, about the practical problems that we have in BCH in terms of bottlenecks in entrepreneurship, in merchant adoption. Um, for me, because although I code myself, I review code on a daily basis. I lean more towards the business and entrepreneurship side. These practical problems that were being discussed in the conference. So I really love the openness and the honesty of the discussions, especially the there are so many, but one of the things that stuck to me was um, the the comments from Mark Demesel about his, shall we say, doubts about the strong points of BCH that we seem to be losing. We're supposed to be strong in the merchant adoption side and commerce, but he doesn't see progress on that side, or we have somehow failed in that angle. Maybe I couldn't blame him for thinking like that, but I believe that as a community, uh, we have uh, we have done progress on that aspect. Although not enough progress yet that we see the impact on the metrics that other people would like to see. But it's it's refreshing for me. I have attended crypto conferences before, and people would talk about tokens, tokenomics, about staking, about games, about all new shiny protocols or games, and it always feels cringe to me. Why are we talking about these things and not the, you know, the thing that what Bitcoin is supposed to be for? So I always feel like I don't belong in those conferences. In here, it's very different. It's like, oh, this is where I should be, exactly where I should be. I feel the vibe, the closeness of the people as well. It's just very natural, and yeah, I can't express everything, but I'm really glad to have joined the conference.
That is fantastic. So, for people who are listening who don't know, there's a lot of weight behind all those words that you just heard because Jomar, I put a link in the thread, but Jomar, right, is from Paytaka. I mean, he's the president, the founder of the Paytaka wallet and the Paytaka team, and they have done a huge amount of all kinds of things, local adoption, their wallet. Do you want to say a little bit about what you've done and how? Like, I'd really like to hear what you've learned in the Philippines, and then what you saw that was similar in Argentina and what you saw that was different in Argentina. Like the situation, what was similar and different between the two?
Yeah, this was tackled in the panel discussions, and yeah, I'd like to share more on that. So we developed the wallet, which is part right now. I realize a small part of the whole thing which we want to accomplish, which is to spread adoption of BCH, to make it useful in daily lives of people starting in the Philippines. So the wallet was one. We started with creating a useful wallet, and then we asked ourselves what else could we build in order to facilitate more adoption. So we built a POS app that links seamlessly with the wallet. Um, and then quite
And for the audience, POS means the point of sale, right? Like
point of sale app, yeah.
yeah, the thing
It's
that people use when you go to a shop and you need to pay. Like they have some kind of system or machine that helps them to accept payments.
yeah, to receive the payments safely. Um, and then of course the actual onboarding of merchants. So once we have these tools, we have to onboard merchants, starting from our friends, our network, and then more marketing activities in order to reach out to those outside our networks. Uh, we built a vending machine with ATM, where you can buy Bitcoin Cash, and that's the easiest way for people now, like to buy Bitcoin Cash, and it's BCH only, and it's zero CONAF, so it's very quick. The experience is really it's attention grabber when we go to when we organize public events, like people line up to buy BCH in the machine and immediately buy snacks in that same machine. It's a vending machine as well. And then we tackled the other problems and came up with solutions as well. Like P2P exchange was always um, there's a demand for it. Like they want to convert their digital pesos into BCH. So that's easier now with the P2P exchange we built into the app. And we built a marketplace because we think that it shouldn't be enough to just onboard merchants to accept BCH. We think that it would be nice if they can sell their products online, and then we coupled it with a delivery system. So basically, it's like Uber Eats or a Food Panda style of a platform. And we found out that this is fast becoming like the popular use case for Paytaka, more than just the payment, like because it's attractive to our users that they can get they get to pay less for the food that they want to order, and we're able to achieve that because we're using BCH. We don't have payment processing overhead, so we can translate these into like tangible value to the customers, to the merchants as well, because they receive the payment immediately, and to the rider they get paid in BCH. So yeah, it's a whole array of solutions, all meant to like tackle the bottlenecks that we see in spreading Bitcoin Cash adoption.
Yeah, so if you're listening, I think you can now grasp the weight of all the stuff that Jomar has worked and built and achieved. So, what are your thoughts on Argentina? What did you see there? You know, what are the weak points or what are the strengths that you saw while you're there?
Oh, I learned that we share exactly the same problems actually. So when Ian and Sebastian mentioned about what their problems are usually in dealing with merchants. Like for example, one of the common problems is the turnover of employees in a shop. So because because there are shops where it's not so frequent that people pay with BCH, maybe once or 2 months. The staff forget about BCH, and maybe sometimes the owner forgets that they should be accepting BCH. So the succeeding employees during the turnover, they just forget about um, training the new ones about accepting BCH. So when people come, you usually get an answer like they don't know what it is, or they just wonder what you're talking about. So that's, uh, that's one of the problems which we also experience in the Philippines. And I don't think, in my opinion, this is one problem where a technical solution cannot really help that much.
Right,
That's
right.
yeah. It's the only solution. I mean, this will solve itself if more and more people regularly pay on those shops. We can only make the point of sale app or the wallet very simple, which it already is actually. But if no one is really regularly paying in those shops, this is bound to happen. So it's more of a social problem than a technical problem. So yeah, that's one. So where are other things I cannot recall now. Yeah, but it's something that I realized that yeah, we share the same problems. Although we tried to solve the same problems, and we arrived with different solutions. So we converge into similar solutions, not exactly the same, in addressing these different problems.
Interesting. So something I've talked about with Paul before, actually, right? Because Paul has some experience in Peru, but back when I was a kid in the 80s, 90s, in Peru, there was always the guy in the corner, the money exchanger. He was the gray market, or really it was black market money exchanger, right? Who would exchange soles for dollars. And I wonder, right? Like, what is it going to take for that to flip over, right? Like, would somebody who's doing that kind of business today, like the modern version of that, helping people to find some kind of stability in the middle of a ridiculous inflationary environment, um, what what what's going to make them choose, crypto, Bitcoin Cash, over, say, the euro or something like that? Is it just going to take a catastrophic collapse of the dollar, or what's it going to take for that kind of thing to happen, where people actually start to make use of this permissionless money that's available to them?
I've heard opinions of this from different people. Um, One thing is they're counting on the collapse of the fiat system and hoping that
Counting on the collapse of the fiat
yeah,
system.
like
Oh, everything just fall apart and it'll be all great.
yeah, but
Oh
it
God.
doesn't guarantee, right? It doesn't guarantee that people will flock to BCH. Maybe they'll flock to what other coins there, or gold or silver, whatever. But
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, it's there's a decent chance it's gonna be bottle caps. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, if the dollar collapses, it's like that's going to be the least of the problems. If it like full on
exactly.
collapses and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, in my opinion, we don't have to wait for that, or uh, if it happens, it happens. But I mean, we can already leverage on the strengths of Bitcoin Cash to create products that people can use and then appreciate the value. The thing is, we know among us, because we are, fanatics, or we are brainwashed. Um, we know what the value of BCH is, but for normal people, they need to have a product that they can compare with something that they already use, and then they will see the value by comparing the benefits. Like, oh, this is better, this is faster, or I save more money by using it, or whatever. It makes their life easier, makes their life more convenient. But we need to put these products out there for people to use and compare. So if they have nothing to compare, there's no like BCH focused products that is in the market, then they won't see the value. So I think, um, yeah, we can do more on the entrepreneurial side of things. We need to get products out that people can try and really appreciate the value of BCH, even without explaining what BCH is, or how blockchain works, or how whatever Austrian economics philosophy, whatever. You just put a product out there that people can use and then appreciate the value.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can I step in now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. People here, they have a really economic roller coaster of the last 40 years, and I told the people here, but what is happening? If you think that there's a lot of adoption in Buenos Aires, I also thought that no, it is not. I was really looking the whole day to make a video of. To do a payment in Bitcoin Cash, and the map is not actualized. So I was walking the whole day, and there's now the good news is there's a big chain of merchants that will be accepting Bitcoin Cash really soon. What was told to me by one of the people in the conference. So that is the good thing, but the map is not that actualized. People do not know it really. I was out there with the cash stamps also to people, and in Argentina there was another coin, World Coin, and it was in the end a big scam. Like there was a small pueblo, a small town where all the people invested in it, and then they just got how do you say that? People grab all the money from the top, and whole town was poor. There's nothing left. So people are really resistant to accept And now I could show them a video. Well, here, look, another girl accepted it. They think, oh, quickly that is a scam, or I had to show it on my own. Like what you say, be all the Austrian economic thing, the blockchain, not to explain. It's just alternative money. You can pay for it, and there are places where you can do that. But those places, what the Jomar is saying, yeah, we need more marketing, more entrepreneurship, more merchants were accepting that, and so in that case, it was really good that it was less on the development side. So I think Bitcoin Cash is super intelligent people, what I noticed at Blist, but we need more on the entrepreneurial side. I completely agree with Jomar. In that case, it was really good that it was in this case, because, well, you said, John, a moment ago, yeah, I can't keep up with all the development things what are now. There's so many developers, so it's now really on the entrepreneurial side that we have to take a look on, and that people in Argentina, there is a big mercado, a big market for this to accomplish. The potential is so big, and people know it because they felt it in their veins of all those economic strange thing what happened the whole life for some with them.
Yeah, man, I can't say how much I appreciate, right? Because Uname said, if everything goes wrong, it's not going to be great if the fiat system just completely collapses. Like he said, bottle caps, that's the worst case. This is a reference to an old game, like a post-nuclear apocalypse. It can be really bad, right?
That old.
Yes, it is. So this stuff can go really, really wrong, right? And I so much appreciate that there's so many people in Bitcoin Cash who are still working towards that, right? Like that peaceful economic revolution of, hey, look, there's a better way to do things. Let us make things valuable for you, make things useful for everyone, so that you can actually choose to just, hey, you know what, this makes more sense. I'm going to use this other system over here. I really appreciate everyone experimenting to find that peaceful way forward and that smooth way forward, rather than bottle caps. But having said that, right, there's a lot of things to be learned, and as Mark DeMessel said, what's the killer app? What is it that takes you from what takes you from a toehold to actually achieving really significant adoption and so forth. So I appreciate so much everybody who's experimenting with that. Payataka, you guys have done so much to experiment with that. The Bitcoin Cash City in Townsville has done so much to experiment and see how local adoption works. People, of course, have done online adoption with DeFi and so forth with Bitcoin Cash and general protocols, the work that we do. There's many to list. So Flipstarter, crowdfunding, all kinds of things, Cauldron, etc. So yeah, it's hard to overstate, right, the value of a peaceful revolution, something where people can just start to realize, hey, this thing is better for me. Let me go use that instead of the things that's broken and causing all kinds of problems. All right, so let me just ask you guys, the guys who attended there, like, let me start with Julian. If you're still there, what was your favorite presentation at the conference? What was interesting about it? Was it a developer presentation, or was it something else? Was there anything that was that particularly stuck out to you about the conference?
Perhaps for me it was more interesting the development presentation, because I'm a developer. However, I also was glad to hear about the carniceria in Buenos Aires, that they accept BCH, and their speech about how they made this possible. So for me, these parts were interesting. I'm not so agree with some ideas about spreading BCH in with a mm, like peaceful revolution and everything else, because I think that if you want to make crypto work, you need to accept this crypto without exchange in fiat money. So, for example, if you have some if you have some like products that I can buy only for crypto without paying you in fiat, it will make work this whole story. Because now people thinking that they need to exchange money, like they need to spend their pesos, for example, in Argentina by BCH, then they pay with BCH, and then and they the sellers they convert the BCH again in pesos. So it's a little bit
Yeah,
confusing
it's an
story.
expensive circle. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that some products, for example, I don't know, some stuff, uh, some t-shirts, for example, cups or anything else, they could be sold only in BCH. And I think maybe it was an error on this conference when people presented their products, for example, Sherba Mate, and they told us a price in pesos and not in BCH. I was really thought about that it will be only in BCH.
I'm surprised they didn't price it in US dollars. I'm I'm half joking but half serious. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically for me it was really interesting about the development.
Yeah, okay, great. Oh man, you yeah. I'm going to put a link to the BCH Bliss conferences, or Jonathan, can I ask you to do that? Cuz
Yeah,
I've enjoyed
I'll
my
submit
tall
the
boy
link.
here. Yeah, I have a thread going on this one. So find that thread that I've made and link, and we'll put that up there. But yeah, I mean the BCH Bliss conference that happened in Slovenia was full of developer related presentations. So I don't know, maybe some of those will be interesting for you.
And also, you could pay for everything in Bitcoin Cash, and we didn't use anything other than Bitcoin Cash, so that's great too.
And another place you can do that, right, is in Townsville, where there's, I believe now there's going to be a conference in 2025 in Townsville, again, known as Bitcoin Cash City. It was the first like really heavy local adoption place. And I can personally vouch for that. And everyone on the GP team can vouch for that because we went there, we lived there for, what was it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And we
I was there for
really
10 weeks.
seriously, yeah, you were there for 10 weeks. And seriously, more or
Yeah.
less, with some few exceptions, we didn't spend anything but BCH the whole time we were there. And yeah, it's a great feeling to be able to do that and work with money that's actually yours.
But have they shown you price exactly only in BCH? They used to show it in Australian, I don't know, dollar. There is, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And this is something that I used to be a little bit hardline on about, like, you know, prices should be in BCH or BTC. But because when I joined this stuff, it was all still BTC, right? Before there was any such thing as Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash or anything else. There was just BTC. That was all there was. And I used to be a kind of, you know, things should be priced in that. But really, when it comes down to it, for the person on the street, for the average person, no, not even for average, for anyone who wants to buy things, purchasing power, PP, is what matters. The purchasing power is what matters, and that's where you decide, you know, how much does something cost in universal terms, kind of, so to speak. And that could be in dollars or something else. And US dollars is a great measure of that. And in your local currency, unless it's currently being hyperinflated, like it is in Argentina and other places, the local currency is a very reasonable unit of account to use. And the cryptocurrencies that are aiming to be global money, which really is Bitcoin Cash, but maybe XMR or others, but whatever it is, But if you really want to be a unit of account, that number has to make sense. That price in BCH or XMR or Monero, whatever it is, has to make sense to everybody who sees it. That's the nature of unit of account. That doesn't happen until much later in the process, right? Like after people are already using it for niche use cases, for specialized use cases, and then maybe businesses are using it internally, and finally when the consumers are using it on a day-to-day basis, then it becomes a meaningful unit of account. But until that point, that's a really hard call to make, to say that things should be priced in BCH or BTC or XMR or whatever it is. So I don't know. That's a gray area. I've definitely softened on that over time. People are gonna value things in whatever they value it in, and you can't assert what people should value things in. And so, yeah, I think we'll get there over time, but that's a very hard call to tell people, you should price things in some kind of crypto terms.
I think that maybe they not should price everything in these crypto terms. However, there should be some products priced only in these high liquid products, maybe.
I like this. Yeah, I'm all for that. I want to see it. I love it. We kind of do that with Bitcoin, with BCH Bull, right? Because in BCH Bull, the app.bchbull.com, BCH is the unit of account. So whenever you're doing things in that app, BCH is the absolute unit of account. So it does what you're saying there, although it is like a financial application. It's not for making purchases. But yeah, people will do that because I can say that we are already doing that. All right, thank you, Julian. How about the other guys, Gerard? Hopefully, I can unmute Gerard at this point. I think he can hear everybody now. What did you learn from it? What was the things to learn? Oh no. Maybe he can't do it. All right. Well, we'll go on. Yeah. Anybody? So, Paul, what was it that you felt from the conference? The biggest lessons that you learned about how we should do things next? What should be the next steps?
Oh yeah, you're just asking about the speakers. So can I answer that one first? That's
please.
Also interesting here. Yeah,
Please.
What for me was one of the most because he was answering the development presentations, was for him the most interesting. What I liked about the entrepreneur side was the CEO of Athena, and he does manage the ATMs. Where you can you go Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, and you can get cash money out of it, so you can deposit it and get cash money. And he was also telling about the transaction costs also in Bitcoin, it was such a hassle with Bitcoin and with the Lightning Network, and that he really did not like it, and they actually love to do everything in Bitcoin Cash. But there's at this stage less market for that. He was really not positive about Bitcoin, and that was a really interesting talk that we had. Maybe you can, if you sat next to him, Jomar, when we have the discussion, maybe you remember also more details about it that you can add to it.
I forgot the name of the speaker. He's the
Matthias Goldhorn.
Matthias. He's the CEO of ATM company. I believe he has like thousands in the US. They used to support BCH, but they dropped it eventually because there was no usage, and it was adding more work to their accounting. But it wasn't just BCH that was dropped. It was also LTC was also dropped from that list. What was interesting was um, he he told the audience about the
operational costs of processing BTC transactions, because when there are periods where the fee is skyrocketing, it really like bleeds out the company. Like they have to, because I think they are subsidizing the fee so that it will be easier. Uh, the customer experience will be less affected. The worst case is that there will be a delay because they're trying to optimize to minimize the fee that they will have to pay. But it's it's a nightmare when you're operating with thousands of ATMs, and then people are buying BTC from the machine, and the fees are skyrocketing. So they were losing money by the minute. Like he mentioned, like one night they paid $27,000 for fees to process BTC orders in their machines. Uh, that's crazy. And he said that it would have been easier, their lives would have been easier if Bitcoin Cash won uh, in the Black Size War. It would have been easier for them to operate their machines if it's BCH. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no demand for BCH in these machines. And the way I understand it is that many of those who buy coins in these machines, they're they're in it for the gains in price. So people are buying mostly BTC and Ethereum. Um, and I believe I don't know if it was the same speaker mentioned about trying to uh, integrate Lightning, like hoping that it will improve the experience. But he noted that there were no like competent Lightning developers to help them with the work implementing that in their machines or something like that. So they dropped the idea.
Or
Like
more
imagine,
like there's no competent developers who will stake their reputation on Lightning because it's nonsense in the first place.
yeah, you mentioned like no one knows how to make this contraption work in their system. So yeah, yeah, it's interesting that he like by heart he would have preferred that BCH is there in the machine because it would have made his life, his company's operations simpler.
And that's
And
painful to hear, right? Because that's going back to many years ago, 10 years ago, when was it 10? Anyway, 10? Yeah, something like 10 years ago when Microsoft and Steam, this is something I mentioned to Mark the Missile. He didn't seem to be aware of it. I'm not sure. But, he was like, retail adoption doesn't make sense. It hasn't happened. And it was like, no, it did happen. And then it was completely, the rug was pulled out from under retail adoption. Yeah, no, it absolutely was happening with Steam. You could buy games, you could buy everything from Microsoft, whatever it was. Online retailers were using BCH. Which one was it? Newegg and some others were using BCH. Yeah, no, it was totally taking off, and then it just got rugged. So yeah, no, it's totally possible. It just has to be rebuilt up. That confidence has to be built up again.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here and say that I have never onboarded so many people as I did those few months where it actually worked on Steam. It was so damned convenient to just send someone a few dollars for a game, have them buy the game and see that it actually worked, like full experience from start to finish, and they end up look at the happy result. That's so good.
Yeah, I can send $5 to somebody to buy something on discount. Do that with PayPal or Venmo or whatever, and yeah, do it at scale, and you get eaten alive in fees. But yeah, no, it's totally possible. The retail is totally possible. It was totally happening, and it got rugged. We'll make it happen again. Jomar, I wanted to ask you. So I've said many times that one of the things that you are doing in the Philippines is, and not only in the Philippines but everywhere, but especially in the Philippines, is exercising the muscles, right? Exercising retail, spending, just the payment muscles, right? Like, if you look at a lot of the things that you talked about, that you said you don't identify with in other conferences that you have been to, those are more or less speculation, and in an unfriendly framing, they're more or less Ponzi's, right? Like pump and dump tokenomics. A lot of that stuff is really fundamentally Ponzi's. But when you get into payments and retail and business, those are things that are hard to achieve, and they're real things, and those are people who take things really seriously, and we're exercising our muscles in BCH, right? Like taking the effort, making the effort to make things happen and make it useful for people, and showing people that you can have an alternative where you have this permissionless money available. But it takes a lot of effort, right? Like doing that exercise and getting that exercise. But we have that work where we have done the exercise. People like you and Peitaka and Townsville and others have put in the effort to actually exercise those muscles and make sure that we keep them. Do you have any position on that aspect? Like, it may be hard, but it's something we have to do and keep working on and building up. I don't know. Do you have an opinion?
Actually, so my experience with like other crypto conferences, um, they don't talk about this because it's hard. They'd rather work on some art NFTs, sell them, and then create some kind of token that requires the least effort for people in order to acquire these tokens, to hype it up, and then eventually expect some people to buy uh, at some price in the future. It's it's a pattern, and I already recognize like it's an obvious money grab, and I yeah I and then you don't people don't talk about like the really important aspects of adoption, and yet they will call like, especially what annoys me these days, like there's a transition from a lot of play to earn games before, um, that turned out to be eventually unsustainable. So these days they have changed their game. It's more about airdrops now. So people um, give a lot of tokens, and now in Ton blockchain they pair it up with some games in Telegram that it can be as stupid as clicking a button, and you will get a lot of tokens from it. Um, it's so like, you call this adoption? Come on. Bitcoin was not created for this. The whole idea uh, is just thrown out of the window, and then they label these things as adoption. And so yeah, it's it's really like when I was in the conference, and then people was talking about adoption, like real adoption, and being open about yeah, it's a difficult work, we need to discuss about the bottlenecks, solutions, share notes, and this is how it should be. We should be talking about real adoption, not those what this mostly web3 projects are talking about when they refer to adoption. Yeah, we are tackling the right problems. Um, we are still far away from like the, how do you call this, the level of adoption that you described, like in the old days, in the early days of BTC. A lot of retailers are accepting, and it seemed very natural, and it was, we are not yet at that threshold, but we should be doing the real adoption work, and I see that only in BCH, almost nowhere else. I don't know where where else this real adoption work is happening.
Yeah, no, I don't either, and I think there's a reason for that. It's just there's a few people who have actually focused on the real goal, and from that seed of real effort, something great is going to emerge. For the oldies out there, we lived through the .com bubble, and if you think back, there was a huge amount of nonsense, just an incredible amount of nonsense, and it was all just totally speculative. But among all that nonsense, there was a few people and organizations and businesses who realized, hey, wait, this internet thing is incredible, and this is actually going to make a big difference. Let's actually do the hard thing and then make it all available to everybody. So yeah, I think we've got those muscles and we can make it happen. Appreciate all the work you're doing there.
Yeah.
So Gerard, are you still there? Can you speak now? Can you say you're the best parts of the conference, what it was that you think that there was to get from it, and what we can learn? No.
Somehow it's not a speaker anymore.
Somehow we lost him as speaker again. Oh god.
Shall I jump in to help you, John?
Please, Paul. Yeah. Go ahead, please. I would love to hear what you thought about it. You're right, because there's a lot going on, and especially in the context of Argentina facing inflation. From my experience in the past, there's a real need, right, for this permissionless money, for an alternative to this ridiculous fiat system that exists, where money is exposed to ridiculous political influences. Like, what did you learn from the conference? Where are we going? What have we got?
From the political influences, you mean? I do not understand your question, sorry.
Yeah, I just mean we're trying to make this transition from these fiat currencies, which are not per se evil things, right? They're just fiat currencies, but they are exposed to political expediency and political issues that make them unfit in the long term, right? Because eventually those turn to inflation and all the problems that come from that massive inflation. So, what did you learn from the conference? What did you see from there? What are the real solutions that we're going to be able to get to with BCH or with crypto, etc.?
First of all, I saw the energy was great. I saw a lot of enthusiasm. People really believe it. Everyone who was there. I don't want to repeat myself, but we still have to spread the message in Argentina, in Holland. We're going to have big events in Holland, in the north of Holland. There are also a lot of entrepreneurs interesting already. We're coming to an event region north soon, but that's from a worldwide scale. There are people also, merchants. So what Gerard was talking about, selling matte, paintings, books. Exactly, they really believe in it, and also as a protection, but it's still not so known. I was talking with Marcelo, and also how he founded BCH Argentina, because actually it was a kind of a bit same period. If you look market-wise, like we are now in, just when they founded Argentina, and he said it really helped when the prices increases, because then we had a few merchants, and there people could not get in. Actually, everyone wanted to pay with Bitcoin Cash, like the first months of 2021, like he was telling me, and that is also a factor. So that's also the timing is really you have to be lucky with the time when you're holding such a promotional events in that case. So we have to keep spreading the word, and also to from now, what I'm going to do is to always have some cash stamps just in my pocket. And if people got interesting, just to also word to word, if you're the hairdresser or somewhere, you have the taxi driver or sitting next to someone in a plane, just to help that, just people getting to know it, because still a lot of people do not know it, apart from onboarding merchants, of course, what's really important. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your questions, but it's more a bigger view what I now share with you, John.
Yeah, no, there's no single answer. There's a lot of things that need to be done. Nobody knows exactly what it is. Let me check if Gerard has some closing words for us before we wrap up. I think I finally got him on speaker here.
Yeah. Okay.
He's back.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, finally.
Ah, nice. I'm struggling here with the Wi-Fi. So yeah, for me, the panels day, the second day of the conference, was the most interesting one. As Jomar said, the talk we had with the, I mean, in the panels, they thought that the ATM guy was explaining how he struggled in their company with trying to make to make it work over BTC, and every he make a confession that it's kind of relief for all the people that were on the conference, that was that if his ATM machines were, there were users that are willing to use BCH over BTC. For them, the job they need to do for run the company will be a lot or easier. And but that is on the subject that was my favorite day and my favorite part of the conference. But yeah, about the problems that I talked with some business owners, based on my experience when I went to pay in Bitcoin Cash. I already commented this that I'm going to say now on the panel I partake. I think we as developers, we have still some margin to improve our products. To make it easier for merchants to accept. I know there is some. We need to train, and we need to make the adoption work. But I really think still that we have margin to keep improving our product. Yeah, I think I'm going to leverage the Scan to Pay app. I don't know if any of the people here know what app it is. It's just a payment solution created by Nintendo. And I think, it would be nice to try here in Argentina, because I think it will probably going to solve a little bit of friction that is around the employees don't knowing how to accept payments in BCH.
Okay, yeah, there's absolutely room for improvement across the board, like everywhere we can do. Still, though, I think we're exercising those muscles. We're making things happen, and the builders are going to find a way forward. So I'll make maybe a little bit in closing here. I'll make my assertion that consumers are maybe the last person who will really appreciate what's going on and the benefits they get from it, and that businesses are a much more likely candidate for people who will appreciate, the things that Jomar talked about with understanding that, hey, you can reduce fees, you can reduce costs, you can reduce 10% of your fees by doing things in this permissionless money network. And they may be the right target audience. So who knows? I might be wrong, I might be right, but I appreciate that everybody in BCH is doing all these experiments to find ways to produce value and make value for people, make things useful for people out there, businesses, consumers, individuals, whatever it is. All right, I think we should call it here, and it's been very good to talk with you guys. Does anyone have last topics to talk about, or something you wanted to bring up about the conference, or anything about BCH or permissionless money,
Yes,
making things available?
yes. Because Willem and I, we are also setting up a format. Also, we're now doing the roadshow in the Netherlands, like a presentation, but also in English. That people from other countries want to set up Bitcoin Cash. I don't know, Poland or Hungary or anything, that we can help with them, like the format also to bring that bigger in other countries. So if you hear that, you can reach out to us and we can share that with you guys.
Excellent. Jomar, you name Jonathan. Anybody who wanted to add something before we wrap up?
No, this has been a great session, and I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, good stuff. It's good to talk with you guys. Maybe I'll be able to go to the Argentina conference next year or the next time it happens. I look forward to having so many conferences that I can't afford to attend all of them. That's going to be great, and I'll try to attend as many as I can and enjoy things and seeing this thing grow, and permissionless money actually becoming available and useful to everybody in the world. All right. Take care, everybody. It's good to talk with you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, John. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.